What's up, people? My name is Skunk Commentary, and today we're gonna talk about something I think is interesting, to say the least. We're gonna talk about how, in this entire Ukraine situation, there has been some interesting shit going down concerning other stuff other than people out fighting in the war. So that is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how Netflix might be forced to use to send Russian propaganda on Netflix in Ukraine. Now, if you live in the West world, you're most likely to use Netflix at least on a daily basis, or at least weekly basis, or some other streaming service. It is really common to use Netflix, at least, because Netflix has a lot of good shows, and Netflix is a good streaming service overall. I personally love using Netflix. I wish this video was sponsored by Netflix, so I could at least get some shit by talking about Netflix. But recently a news article broke. How real it is, I do not know, actually. Because nowadays, news articles, they can be either real or fake when it comes to this whole Russia situation. And if it is fake, it sounds real. And if it is real, it doesn't surprise anyone. So, yeah, take this with a grain of salt. So, Netflix has a lot of different parts to their system, and one of these parts kind of is very friendly towards Russia and Putin. And we all know that Putin, right now, he is not in the best of situations. He has recently started a world war, kind of, where he's at least threatening to start a world war if anyone decides to intervene with him on the whole Ukraine situation. And yeah, I am afraid that someone will intervene sooner or later. Because if Russia is allowed to side with Belarus, then someone else should be able to side with Ukraine without getting nuked. I think that is just fair. Joking aside, I think this is sick, and yeah, this is insane. Not in a good way. But Russia, they could try and force Netflix to feature some of their content. And some of that content could be Putin friendly. We could call it that. And Putin friendly stuff usually means propaganda. And I would personally say that Putin's own content, I would not trust that really as a good news source, because in Russia, yeah, shit is really going down, and people are protesting against Putin. That's the thing I think most people not understand, is that no one really the people did not want a war with Ukraine. It was Putin who wanted it, and the people just had to obey him, pretty much. And that is pretty sad, because yeah, I don't have to explain that to anyone really. But what impact could this Putin game and Army of the Putin, what else popular Netflix over there? The Putin, the KGB office. I'm just thinking of every popular show on Netflix right now. What else? The Kissing Putin. I want people. I want everyone to post their best Putin. Their best Putin Netflix shows, and yeah, call it something like arm. Make great photoshops about it, people. We need good photoshops about Putin and how he now owns a part of Netflix apparently. Yeah, this is pretty insane. But what effects could this have on the rest of the world now that Putin is forcing Netflix to send? I mean, we do not firstly know if Netflix is actually gonna agree with this. They could pull out this part of it all. They could very well do that. I can definitely see Netflix doing it. Because Netflix, they do not want to get caught up in a World War-esque situation. I mean, this is quote-unquote World War III that we're talking about. And I don't think Netflix are up to getting involved with that. They're here to entertain and show people some great movies. Oh yeah, I forgot one great Putin spin-off. The Putin Sitter! Killer President. I need to stop with this. But if Netflix does agree with this, then yeah, then they've chosen their side. But I don't think Netflix will do that. I think Netflix will most likely either pull out, or they'll just try to avoid the situation as much as possible. I still would like to see the Putin version of the kissing booth. The Putin booth. That would be the spin-off of the year. Like, in a world where Mary Sue's and buff guys without any brain cells exist, here comes now the movie we've all been waiting for. The Putin Booth. Produced by Ruski Felix. And starring Vladimir Putin. Random Russian model Vladimir Putin. Brandon Lee's corpse. And Putin. The Putin Booth. The only real romance is with the vodka and the motherland. Or something like that. I'm joking around too much with this thing, but yeah, we should be serious about this thing, because if Putin actually now controls one of the biggest streaming services in the world, then yeah, then what will he have control next? If Russia, and if Netflix is forced to show Russian propaganda, then yeah, I think it's pretty bad. And I still think the Putin booth would be a good idea. So Netflix, please produce it. I would actually watch it. But what could this lead to? I mean, I think that it is not a question of time before we will get to see Russia having a part in Spotify. And I think that the Putin booth might not be the next thing, because Netflix has been in controversies in Russia because that they show content where LGBTQ characters exist. And Putin, he's not the biggest fan of people who aren't straight because of some reason. From my research, it is illegal to be gay in Russia, which is really weird because what the fuck does Putin have to do with whatever someone is attracted to? I don't really get why people dislike others because of what they're attracted to in general. It's just stupid. But yeah, who else is tagged for Putin game? The game where if you win, you might get a chance of being a part of the communistic party. I need to stop joking about Putin, but yeah, this is a serious topic, and now that Putin now has Netflix in his hand, kind of, he's not. I'm gonna make this really clear. He does not own Netflix. He just has made it that now it's just like, fuck, I'm stuttering, but it is like, if Russia might be able to show, there might be able to be some content on Netflix in Ukraine that supports Russia. And do I think this is a good thing? Not at all. Russia should not have this power when it comes to... They should not produce that kind of content. And propaganda, there's a lot of propaganda in Russia. I think in Russia, their news are not trustworthy at all. I'm not saying that my channel is the most trustworthy channel on YouTube, because I'm just a guy sitting in my room talking about news that I find interesting and internet stories that I think is worth bringing up. And I'm just sitting here talking about them and reading some articles that I find and discussing the topics of those articles. Now, do I think that Putin will be promoting Putin flicks with the kissing Putin, the army of Putin, what else do I have? Putin education, and what else good Putin shows could you get? How could I forget Tall Bear? But for real, Russia could be something that is not, you know, this could either be something that is not going to affect our livelihoods and our lives in any sort of way, but this could also, maybe in the future, lead to more and more people getting showed more and more propaganda throughout the films that we watch on Netflix, which is not a good thing. Propaganda, if you know anything about politics, you know that propaganda is never good for anyone to view. Because propaganda, it has led to just so much bad shit in the world. Propaganda in itself is not bad, it is the consequences of it that is bad. And that can ruin people's lives and destroy families and all that shit. So don't listen too much to Netflix now in the future. I'm gonna still sit and watch Seinfeld on Netflix, because Seinfeld is a great series and it is not owned by Netflix. It is owned by Jerry Seinfeld, if my memory doesn't fail. But he doesn't own it, he just wrote it and directed it and acted in it. So if they make a Putin version of Seinfeld, I'll be fucking pissed. Putinfeld. Yeah. I think I've said enough about Russia now owning Netflix, and I've joked around about that a bit too much, and my video is getting long. It's getting to my average length of a video. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you enjoy the next episodes of Call Me By Your Putin, or Call Me By Your Ruski name. Also, please type your best Putin Netflix, your best Putin flicks title in the chat or comments. Please, I want to know which Putin film will you watch next. I'm personally going to watch what do we have? Putin's Game, based on the novel by Stephen King. Or maybe the Ruski Chainsaw Massacre, produced by Netflix, produced by Putin Flicks. Or maybe the worst commie ever. Alright, even All of Us Are Russian. Yeah, I'll see you guys next one. Take care.